given the percent and the part. So we talked about that yesterday, finding the part when we were given the percent and the whole. Today we're going to find the whole when we're given the percent and the part. So let's think about that really quick. You know, right now it is coming up to ski season. So I'm getting excited about skiing and I'm looking at some skis. Now, honestly, I pretty much just buy my skis at Goodwill because I'm just a cheap person. But there's some really cool skis right here. Icelandic Pioneer skis. Let's look at those a little bit closer. Pretty awesome. And right now they are on sale. It says 30% off. Now let's just say that I didn't believe that this was the original price. Or maybe that original price didn't even exist. I don't even see it at all there. But what is that actual price? All right, here we are at Washington Middle School today because I need a bigger whiteboard because we are working on percent problems. And when we are working on percent problems, we're looking for one of three things. What were those three things? We did them on Monday and Tuesday, remember? Yeah, we're looking for a part. We are looking for either a part, a whole, or a percent. So instead of doing a sale question, there's a lot of sales at different stores, just like we were looking at online, or when we go to Fred Meyer, or wherever we are, we see sales all the time. We see percents on those sales. But let's look at one of our practice problems. So practice problem number one that you're going to work on, let's work on that together. Make sure to write everything down so you're ready when you're doing your practice problems. So the question is this: Yolanda's club requires that 80% of the members are there in order to vote. If 20 members must be present in order to vote, then how many members are in the club? So what information do we know here? What information do we have? 80%, that's right. So our percent is pretty easy.
We got 80%.
So we know 80% is our percent. Do we know the whole or do we know the part? Yeah, we know the part because it says if 20 members must be there in order to vote. Well, we know that they have to have 80% there and 20 members must be present. So that means that 20 members are the part. 20 members are the 80%. So what do we need to find out? We need to find out the whole. What is the whole amount of people in Yolanda's club? So how can we represent this today? That's right, we can use a bar diagram, double number line, ratio tables, or equivalent ratios. And we're going to do all those today. So let's start off with our bar diagram. Go ahead and draw this with. All right, so we've drawn a bar. How much are we going to break that bar into? Okay, so we have 80%. So we could just make it's about right here if you thought about 80%. But what are the increments if we have 80%? Well, 80% is 20% away from 100%. So we're going to break it up into increments of 20%. How many 20% are there in 100%? Yeah, 5. So we're breaking this up into 5 different groups. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got my 5th. So I've got 5 different groups in my bar. How many of those do we have information on? 80%. Okay, 80% is what amount of the bar? It is 20, 40, 60, and 80. So 4 out of the 5 bars are going to be shaded in that we have 80%. And how many people are in that 80%? We've got 20. So what do we need to find out? So 20 people is 80% of our bar diagram. We need to find out what is the whole. How many people are in Yolanda's club in the entire bar? How can we do that? Well, we can just divide 20 divided by 4, because we have 4 groups that have 20 people. And how many people are in each of those 4 groups? Yeah, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I have 5 people in this 20%, 5 in this 20, 5 in this 20, 5 in this 20, 5 in this 20. So what is the amount that is in the entire bar? 25 people. So she has 25 people in her club. Yolanda has 25 people in her club, which makes up the 100%. 80% is 20 people. 100% is 25 people. And I can just put 25 as my whole. How else can we represent this? Now let's do a double number line first. And remember, double number lines are my favorite method. So let's write that. All right, double number lines are my favorite method of working with percents. Maybe you're going to find that too, but it doesn't matter. You can use whatever concept works really well for you. So when we have a double number line, we have our two number lines correspond to the 2 areas that we have. So one is going to be the percent, always. So I'll just put percent on top. Percent is the top line. It can be the bottom line. It doesn't matter, whatever you want it to be. And what is the other one? Yeah, we've got club members. So that's what we have in this problem, club members. So we'll say, so when you have 0% of the club members is 0 club members. What do we know on our double number line? Oh yeah, we know that 80% is 20 people. So we've got that information down. What do we need to find out? We need to find out the whole. So we need to find out that 100% is how many people? Well, again, all I need to do is I need to scale my numbers down. So I see again that 80%, we're going to go down to an increment of 20%. So because this is 20% away from 100, we're going to scale down to 20%. So I'm going to say 20%. What is 20%? Well, I need to divide 80 by what to get to 20? Well, it's the same thing as 8 divided by what equals 2? And the answer is 4, right? So 80 divided by 4 equals 20. Therefore, 20 divided by 4 is going to equal what? 5. Good, so we've got 5. 5 people is 20% of Yolanda's club. So now I just need to scale up because I know that 20 times 5, 20 times 5 equals 100. So 5 times 5 is going to give me my 100% of Yolanda's club, and that is going to be 25. 25 is the whole amount of Yolanda's club, and again, I can just put 25 into the whole. All right, let's look at this as a ratio table. Okay, we've got a ratio table now, or 80% is equal to 20. So 20 members is 80%. How many members are 100%? So this one I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to find out what do I need to multiply 80 by to get to 100? Well, 80 times what equals 100? We'll have to divide 100. I have to divide 100 by 80 to find out 80 times what equals 100. So 80 times what equals 100? Well, I can divide 80 goes into 100 one time. 1 times 80 is 80, and I get 20 left. So I'm going to bring down a decimal. 80 goes into 200 how many times? 2 times. 2 times 80 is 160. and I'm going to get 400. I'm going to bring down a 0. Bring down a 0. I've got 400 left over. 80 goes into 400 how many times? Right, same thing as 88 goes into 4 5 times. So 80 goes into 400 5 times. So I have 1.25 because 400 is all that I have left over. So 1.25, 80 times 1.25 equals 100. Therefore 20 times 1.25, 1.25 times 20 is, well, 0 there. And so 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down up the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And 1 times 2 is 2. And then I'm going to bring my decimal back because my decimal is, I have 2 decimal places here. So I have to bring the decimal back 2 places right there. So I get 25.00, which is what? 25. 25. What's the final way that we can work on this? What's the final way that we can conceptually understand percent in action? All right, so we've got equivalent. All right, so what I've drawn with my equivalent fractions is, first off, the fraction 80 over 100, because 80% is 80 over 100. That's always the case. Percent means out of 100. Cent is 100. 80 over 100 is equivalent to 20 over, and I've used the variable m to describe, or m to show that I'm missing some information, and I use m because m stands for members. But you can use any letter you wanted to use. 20 times what equals 80? 20 times something equals 80. And that same thing times m times that same thing equals 100. So I can divide 80 by 20. 80 divided by 20, and I get 4, right? 4 times 20 is 80. So therefore 80 times 4, 20 times 4 equals 80. 80 divided by 4 equals 20. So we can go either direction on that. 80 divided by 4 is 20. 20 divided by 4, times 4 is 80. Therefore 100 divided by 4 is what? Is 25. And 25 times 4 is what? 100. So 100 divided by 4 is going to give me m. And I get m equals 25. There are 25 members in this club. All kinds of ways. When you're redoing this, when you're watching this video again, you can just come back and look at whichever one of these you like best, whichever one you like to represent a problem best. You can just watch the video and just watch that part of it. Remember to complete every single problem on your presentation in Reveal. And then on your practice problems, you only need to pick out a couple of those. And if you don't know how to do one, you can always just show the answer and then choose a different one to do. That way you can wrap your mind around one and then get to the next one. It's always good to do more than you have to do. So if I tell you you have to do 4, but you want to do 10, that's going to be great because that's going to increase your practice and you get stronger and stronger in your brain when you practice harder. Have a wonderful day. Be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. And I will see you in class.